And we're good. Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Matty Conrad here. I'm here for taking over American Salon Facebook Live on behalf of Sexy Hair. And we are here in Gastown in Vancouver, BC with our newest shop, Victory Barber and Brand Gastown. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick styling demo for you. I wanna work with you guys a little bit on things that guys will do, like things that guys will actually do to their hair. You know, all of us have that client that sits in our chair, they bring us that picture of that really cool coiffed out look. And usually somewhere about halfway through the haircut, they bust out that like word that everybody hates to hear, that one phrase that all stylists hate to hear is, I don't want to blow dry my hair. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. I don't want to blow dry it either. But the truth of it is if you want to create volume and you want to create those fuller pompadour shaped looks, you just no way of getting around that without a blow dryer. So we're gonna teach you some really quick tricks on how you can get your guys to actually blow dry their hair at home inside of about 3 minutes. And I feel like that's the best window you can work with. It's about 3 minutes is pretty much the time that you're looking for. Because I find that anything you give a guy to do more than that, and he's kind of losing interest by about 2.5 minutes in. I think a lot of guys get really intimidated by styling their hair when they see what you're doing to it. You're bringing out a whole army of brushes, a really nice expensive blow dryer, and all these things, and you're breaking it down into a pattern. And that can be really intimidating for a client because when they're watching you do this, the whole time all they're thinking is, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this at home. And the better you can get your clients' hair to look at home, the better shot that you're gonna have of getting not only more clients from people that see their hair and like it, but more chance you're gonna get that guy to sit in your chair time and time again because you've taught him how to style his own hair. You've taught him how to create that look at home and how to look his absolute best. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a quick demonstration on Jeff here. Now Jeff's hair is kind of cut into a bit of a long slick back. It's got a little texture on top. And really what I find is the most flattering is when you create that little bit of volume in the front. Because you'll notice from the side, everybody's head is kind of round on top. We got all this nice kind of roundness. And for guys, we're trying to create a shape that looks just a little more square, a little more angular. And I find the best way to do that is to create just that little bit of volume in the front. Now, the easiest place to find the place that you're gonna put the most amount of volume is by simply separating out the head based on where the gravity affects it. So if you were to place your comb right on the top of the head, the point at which the comb balances, move right in here, I really wanna show this. Okay, the point at which the comb balances on the head, that's the high point. Everything that falls in front of the high point of the head is basically gonna naturally wanna fall towards the face and is gonna be the front part of the haircut. And everything that comes behind the high point is gonna be the back part of the haircut. And this is the part you want really to be compressed. So what we're gonna do is instead of using a bunch of brushes, we're gonna use something that creates a little bit of texture. We just did that James Dean Steals the Scene contest. And the James Dean kind of concept about hair is really about this loose, disheveled, not overly done kind of look. You know what I mean? We want something that's gonna be just a little more tousled, a little more natural with a little more flow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some products here to try and make a little bit of volume and reinforce that hair. Because hair on its own doesn't wanna stand up. What you wanna do is you wanna make sure that you give it something that's gonna reinforce the structure of that hair, reinforce the strength of it, and give it a little bit of backbone. So I'm gonna use the Blow It Up product from Sexy Hair. And I like this, it's a volumizing gel. You put just a little bit in your hands. You can see it kind of foams up almost like a mousse. I'm gonna work this just through the front of the hair. Now, the great thing about a gel that turns into a mousse is you kind of have the best of both worlds. Like mousse is a little bit light, a little bit dry on its own, but it's great for making volume. Gel, on the other hand, is really, really strong and it gives a lot of reinforcement to the hair. So I'm gonna work this mostly into the area where I wanna create all of that volume, right at the root area, right at the front here. And make sure we work that in nice and evenly. I'm gonna take a comb, I'm gonna put it through there, and I'm gonna work it really lightly through the ends just to give myself a little bit of extra control. Thank God we have lots of towels. All right, so I'm gonna take a comb at this point. I'm gonna make sure it really, really works its way through so we don't have any clumpy product. You really want this to be nice and thoroughly mixed through the hair. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my blow dryer. I'm just gonna work with my hands. And what I want my client to do is I wanna show them and I want them to see how easy it is to create volume. The only thing you need to do to create volume with a blow dryer is take your fingers, put it through the front of the hair, lift it up and forward over the forehead while you're drying it. Especially at the root area, you wanna blow that hair right forward. Anything in front of that highest point of the head, you wanna blow it right forward. Before you do anything else, just right at the root area, you want to bring that down. Now time me on this because we're going to try and do this inside of 3 minutes. So I'm going to do here, you see I'm applying tension to the hair with my fingers. I'm lifting it up over the head, over the forehead. Not back, not slipping hair back. That's only going to flatten the hair out right next to the forehead. You want that to have the most amount of volume. So I'm pulling that all forward. Everything else, I'm going to use my hands and I'm going to rake all that hair right back. My fancy Dyson blow dryer, but you can do this with any blow dryer. It doesn't need to be a super fancy blow dryer. Any blow dryer. I usually tell my guy clients if they have a girlfriend at home, steal hers. That's okay. Little tiny treble blow dryer, no big deal. Anything that they're doing to create more volume, anything they're doing to help reinforce the volume in their hair, that movement, that texture, the better off for them. So everything behind that high point, come right in here. Everything behind that high point, I'm really flattening back and I'm making sure I'm using the airflow right over top of the whole surface of the head. That's going to give it a lot more smoothness. Really move that airflow around. The airflow is the most important part when we're talking about styling. Airflow is so much more important than heat. You want to make sure that the air is traveling over the surface of the hair. The more you do that, rather than just this messy, trying to mess my hair up thing, that's only going to make messy, frizzy hair. If you use that airflow going right over the top of the hair, it's going to look smooth and shiny. All right, now when I get into the hair in front of the high point, I'm going to use my fingers to start pulling this straight up and just kind of bending the hair back slightly. I don't need it to be perfect. You want it to be a little loose and a little rough. But I'm going to try and bend this right up. I'm going to blow dry this, pulling it straight up in the air and bending it back just slightly with my fingers. Now this is something that everybody can do. You don't need a brush. You don't need to have a lot of fancy kind of implements and tools. You don't need to grab a flat iron and bend the hair. You really want to try and create a little bit of volume and a little bit of lift. Same here. See how I'm pulling this out forward rather than straight back? Always pulling this forward and bending the ends back with my fingertips, just adding a little tension with my fingers. Now you can feel it start to dry in your hands. And when it starts to get more towards about 80% of the way dry, what you then do is you start raking it with your hands, just really wide fingers, kind of break it up, making sure you're not using too much of a brush or a comb. Just want to lift it up with your fingers a little bit and just rake it through and start to smooth it out using that airflow still, again, over the top. Now, volume is kind of a fun thing. You can never really have too much volume when it comes to products because products don't like to hold hair up. They like to hold hair down. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you always kind of make a little more volume than what you really need. That airflow, smooth that out. Then I'm going to hit it with the cold button. I'm going to use the cold button on my dryer. I'm going to let the heat cool off here. I'm just going to rake it through with a cool button. And what that's going to do is it's really going to help lock that volume into place. Cold button on a blow dryer is nice because it can help you get rid of frizz, it can help you get rid of flyaways, help you smooth that hair down without affecting the overall bend and overall shape of the hair too much. All right, now I got lots of nice volume in there and lots of good texture. Okay. So once I've done that, I'm going to rake my hands through it just a little bit before I apply any product. I want to try and get the hair to sit about as close as I intended to sit when I get the products in there. Products aren't meant to create a whole hairstyle all at once. Products are really just the last like 15 to 10, like 20% of the hairstyle. What they do is they create the separation and the texture and give you the hold to lock that style in the way you want it. But my recommendation to you is try and get it as close to finished without a lot of finishing products in it first. I find that if you do that, you can use a lot less product and it goes a lot further. What I am going to use as a finishing product is the texture paste called Frenzy from Big Sexy. I really like this one. It's kind of like a paste meets a clay. It's really nice and dry. Gives you great separated texture and a really nice amount of control. I'm just gonna take a little bit, work that through my palms. Anytime you're using matte products or anytime you're using something that is meant to have a little bit more of a neutral finish, you have to put it into dry hair. If you're putting it into wet hair, what you're doing is diluting that product and you're not necessarily getting all the efficacy and it's not gonna finish really matte. It's gonna look shiny. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work that through my palms. I'm gonna pat it on the outside of the hair before I start really raking it through, making sure I get nice and even through the ends, because that's the area where you wanna see the most amount of texture. All right, then I'm really gonna work this through. Just give this a nice raking through with my fingers. Something that's meant to look a little more tousled, a little less perfect. Now this is the part where I'm gonna turn Jeff around in the mirror, because I like to use my mirror when I'm doing my styling. It helps with balance. That's all better. I like these long, kind of slicked back, a little bit more slept in kind of looking pompadours these days. They just feel a little more effortless and a whole lot cooler. And that's the point, really. I mean, that's the point of styling. It's the point of coming to the barber shop, is having a guy walk out feeling cooler, feeling like he's, you know, looking his best self, feeling like he's looking ready for the day. And not everybody wears like a really hard side part. I find a lot more guys these days are wearing stuff that just feels a little more tousled, a little more effortless. Kind of like that effortlessly cool, riding your motorcycle through a desert kind of feel to it. For me, that's the thing. That looks better.
Martina would like to know where you can order these products from.
You can order these products through Sexy Hair in the United States. We have some people on the other end of the line doing all the little typing bits, and I'm sure they're going to tell you exactly where you can find these. I'm up in Canada right now, so I think where you find them in the US and where you find them in Canada are very different places. All right. So that's going to be our like 3-minute quick how to style your hair tip for guys. Something they can recreate at home, something they're not going to be really intimidated by, but something that's going to help their look be just that next level edge of cool. All right. Thanks, Jeff. So one of the things that we're doing here today too, one of the most important things I think we're doing here today is we're actually going to tell everybody who the winners were of the James Dean Steals the Scene contest. And now, this was a contest that we ran with Sexy Hair and with with Cosmoprof and with American Salon for 3 or 4 months. We ended up having over 400 entries. And so they asked me to come and judge the contest and see all the looks and give my input on who I thought had really got the idea of that James Dean kind of style. And so the grand prize for these winners is going to be able to come up on February 18th to 20th. You guys are going to be traveling to Vancouver, BC. Sexy Hair is going to bring you here, and you're going to do private class with me in the Victoria Gastown shop. And so I'm really excited to have you guys up here and show you my town. Vancouver is a beautiful, beautiful city. You're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about men's hair, about men's grooming, and all the fun stuff that we can do up here. So we judged everything based on 3 criteria. One was on the hairstyle itself. Did people kind of understand the James Dean style, and did they really reflect that in the way that they styled the hair and the haircut itself? And I think they did some really great jobs. We also looked at overall inspiration. We looked at overall, like, is it an inspiring shot? Is it a thing that people really got the concept together? And the other one is basically the artistic impression. So what you did for a photo, how you framed it, how you put it together, and the overall feel of the photo itself. And so I gave them all the numbers. Now, I didn't know any of the names. They didn't give me any of the names of any of the contests. All they did was show me the photos, and I got to rate them on what I thought overall. And so we're going to announce the winners right now. I hope you guys are ready for this. First of all, Jody Jansen, congratulations. You're going to be coming up here with Sexy Hair, and you're going to be showing up in Vancouver. We're going to be doing a class. I think you did a great job of this. It's really got that wave and that really disheveled, separated look. I think you did a really great job of that, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. All right, next up we have Michelle Hafner. I really feel like this photo just super embodied that period of the 50s where that was just all that kind of slick back coolness. Had the right vibe of the photo, the haircut looks great. I really think you did an awesome job. I'm looking forward to meeting you, congratulations. All right, Justin Cordonanzo. This is a fantastic looking pompadour, really great shot. I think it's really well composed. There's a really nice finish on it, has that very nice old school 50s James Dean feel to it. Congratulations, I'm looking forward to meeting you up here at Victory Gastown. Now, Valerie Tamberlin, great job on this. This is actually recreating probably one of the most iconic photos from James Dean. I think you got the hair texture exactly right, you got the feel of the photo, you really nailed it. I really liked this one, I thought it was really cool. So great job on that, I'm looking forward to meeting you, congratulations. And Judy Lee. Did it also, great job on this. It has this really nice kind of rebellious feel to it, whimsical, great feel to the overall photo, great job on the styling. Congratulations to you. I'm really looking forward to meeting you too. And yeah, you guys did an awesome job. So thanks very much for entering. All the rest of you that entered, you also did awesome jobs. I saw so much really great work there. It was almost impossible to pick the grand prize winners. So thanks to all of you guys that entered this thing, and keep at it. Keep tagging me in your photos because I really love seeing that stuff. I think you guys have been doing an awesome job. And thanks a lot for joining us here in Victory Gastown. I hope you guys had a good time, and we look forward to seeing you again. All right, have a great day. Thanks again on behalf of Sexy Hair and American Salon. We'll see you later.